Dunban, have you seen Fiora?
I have. She said she was going out to get some air. I don't think she went far.
Thanks. I'll take a look. Fiora, here you are.
Oh, Shulk.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. It's so peaceful. It's hard to believe that we defeated a horde of Telethia just minutes ago.
Zanza wants to finish us all, so he can make the vision he's had come true. We're in the calm before the storm.
They'll be back, won't they? The Telethia. To remove us all from this world.
I won't let that happen. Whatever the future holds, we can never give in. Not to Zanza. No, not even to our destiny.
I wonder why Alvis said what he did.
Which part?
Does this world belong to us or to Zanza? Why would he side with Zanza? Power? Or maybe he wants to live forever.
Who knows? But I don't think his motives are that simple. I'm sure Alvis has some kind of plan. Otherwise, why would he speak to me in my dreams?
He spoke to you in your dreams?
That's another reason why I have to find Zanza. I have to find out why.
You and me both. I must fulfill Mayneth's wish. Shulk? You wanted to speak to me about something.
Oh, that's right. Leonarda's looking for you. She wants to examine you. She's back at Junk's.
Oh. Hey, can you go ahead? I'll go and see Leonarda in a minute. I need a few minutes to myself.
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
Thank you. What can I do? If I go to see Leonarda, she'll find out what's happening to my body. I need to come up with a good excuse. Oh, please, let me be with Shulk just a little bit longer.
Zanza is inside the Bionis. I just know it.
Dixon must be there as well.
Yes, and Alvis too.
That's all good, but how do we get to them? If they're inside the Bionis, we're gonna need to dig a pretty big hole.
How long that take? Ricky get old soon.
It just so happens I have the answer. On the Bionis chest is a massive hole that leads inside. It's the wound made by Agil's final attack.
Then that means...
Yes. While the Allied force keeps the Telethia busy, you can sneak inside that wound and take out Zanza.
We will take Junk's. Let my father know when you are ready to depart.
Yeah, time to knock some heads.
Ricky never lose. For Ricky family, Ricky win.
We must show this god our unyielding will to survive.
The suffering of my people will not be in vain. The crimes against our friends will not go unpunished.
Shulk!
Ready. We go to the Bionis chest. We will free our world from Zanza's curse.
Fun fact, that cutscene is probably what that music that we just heard there. So that music plays in a couple of places. Twice during the cutscenes of the attacks on Sword Valley by the Allied force, and then once there. The piece is called The Night Before the Decisive Battle. A name which strongly suggests it was written for that point. But it fits much better at the Second Battle of Sword Valley, where there's so much cool shit going on. Oh, I love that scene so much, especially just because how much it fucks with you, that it shows you Dixon and you're kind of on his side, and it shows you Lorithia going, they're doing rather well, aren't they? And you think people are up to shit, but they are up to shit, but not the shit you think they are. It's very good. And Callian, Melia's brother, such a bad deal he gets as well. By the way, fucking Telethia everywhere now. A lot of parts of Bionis are now real dangerous. What I was trying to show before I was attacked by... What are you? Oh, level 68 Telethia, yeah, we can take you. I'm just going to kill this guy quickly. These Phoenix ones don't use Soul Reed as much, so you're generally fine. I mean, we're using Shulk anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we've toppled the bastard, but yeah, Soul Reed is the big scary thing that Telethia do, which you need to... It's an aura, so you need to either purge it with Shulk or use Melia's Mind Blast against it. But what I wanted to show here is... I'm going to spend the rest of the episode basically talking about what has changed since Mechonis Core. Let's not have that Dracos see us. The Dracos has seen us. What's he? Oh, he's a... I can take a level 69 Dracos. That's fine. Let's do that then. Let's show something off. Stream Edge to break him? No, he's immune to break. Fuck. Not gonna work then. I was gonna show off Monolith Cyclone, which I've actually not really shown off yet, which topples everyone. But he's immune to break even in a topple attack. A topple attack, chain attack, so there we go. Wait, he is broken? Yeah, he is broken. That's the thing underneath us. And we will topple him with Monolith Cyclone. No, we won't, because he used Soul Reed. So you see, he has that blue signal above where it says Polka and Telethia, which has that squiggly diggle with an up. That means they've got Soul Reed active. That is a mess, because that basically means very few of your attacks are going to hit him. I've used Battle Soul there to try and get my Monado gauge up, but it's not great. Ah, some Oopas here. Oh, I'm dead. We're all dead. We're getting a vision. Killer Sky, also a deadly art from these Telethia. Funny how I had much more trouble with this one than we did with Dixon's one that was much higher level. Get up, Shulk. Shulk, get up. Run the fuck away! Well, these tiny Hooper after me, fuck off. At least I know this Telethia can't follow me into the fucking ether mine, surely. There we go. So, much as it's been incredible for the last few cutscenes to have had this dramatic thunderstormy weather, did not plan that, that just happened. If we change the weather type, or the daytime, we will see one of the big changes post-Mechonis Core. There's not much Mechonis left. The Mechonis has its legs there, and it basically stops at the chest. No, as I've mentioned before, all of the Mechonis areas are now inaccessible. This is slightly bizarre, given though that Mechonis Field and parts of the Central Factory are clearly still intact, but you can't get to them. There's no more Mechonis for you, and for the rest of the time, there's no more Mechonis over you. You can see the arm there, not holding the sword, but instead holding nothing. And yeah, the fucked up body of the Mechonis is there. Full arm, still fine. Rest of the Mechonis, less good shape. And as you've seen, there's Telethia. Everywhere is another big shift. Next thing is Alchemoth and the Hyantia. If we skip travel to Alchemoth, we actually can't. It's all grayed out and says you can't currently skip travel to this landmark. You can absolutely still get there, but you have to go from Erithsea to the warp point into Alchemoth and go up from there. You cannot teleport into Alchemoth. It's too dangerous. If you go there, as we will in a couple of episodes' time, you'll find, shockingly, overrun with Telethia. Who would have seen that coming? As part of that as well, all of the pure-blooded Hyantia in the gate are now Telethia. You can tell the pure-blooded stuff. This has been hinted at before. It's to do with the wings. Melia has short little wings because she's part Homs. Only pure-blooded Hyantia have long wings, and they are basically all Telethia now, because they're pure-blooded, so they have the Telethia gene, which gives them this weakness, whereby when they're exposed to large amounts of ether, they Telethia. That's what Lorithia's Havres were about. The Havres, like the flying machines that they're in, the whole deal with them is they're basically ether bombs, and when they go off, they convert the Hyantia occupants, and so forcing the Hyantia to rely on them as a fighting machine basically means she's got them in a place where she can instantly just go bam, ether bomb to everyone, fuck you, Hyantia. Genocide time. If we look at the affinity chart, we will see a lot of Hyantia are greyed out. Every single Hyantia that is greyed out is a Telethia now. And over the coming episodes, possibly in the post-game, we'll see, we will deal with a lot of the fallout from that. But one of the main bits of the fallout is that any quests involving these are gone now, which is basically the primary reason why so many of the quests that are in Alchemoth expire at Mechonis Core, is because the people involved in that quest are Telethia now. A lot of them have moved as well. Alchemoth is uninhabitable now. So ones like these guys, for example, who are still with a blue ring, are now in Earthsea. There are some at the Ether Plant, there are some at Sidus Lighthouse. You'll notice a lot of them now have got a green background. They have fled to Frontier Village or Satoral Marsh. Satoral Marsh around the Sororal Sister statues, which is a bit of a kind of high-end feeling area. Anyway, some of them have gone to Colony 6 kind of their own volition. Most of the high-end tier have now fled the Upper Bionis generally. As I said, we can't fast travel into Alchemoth for the same reason as well. We can't fast travel into Prison Island, as we saw. Prison Island has sunk into the head of the Bionis, and as such, we can't get there at all. If we were to fast travel to that part of Earthsea, Prison Island just is not there. It has gone now. There's also another couple of quests which have been replaced with different versions. So there are 3 quests which, if you didn't do them before Mechonis Core, they expire, and a identical quest with a different name replaces them. Doctor, bring up the quest visualizer, please, because there's 3 we're going to cross off as mutually exclusive ones, because we can't do them because we've already done their real version. To Colony 6, the quest from Juju, which first triggers the migration to Colony 6, is now gone, and replaced with the road home, with Dulland, which we don't need to do because we've already done the road home. So that swaps that off. We now have the quest. Well, instead of Talia's research, that one where we went and found Talia in Satoral Marsh is replaced with investigating Satoral. But again, we can't do that because we've done Talia's research. So cross that off and mark it as mutually exclusive. And finally, the one with Zane and Koralth in Valak Mountain, Adventurers in Peril. If you haven't done that, then you're offered the Missing Partner, which is the same quest, and these quests are exactly the same, they just have a different name. So, to Colony 6, Investigating Satoral, and the Missing Partner, we can't do any of them because they're mutually exclusive with quests we already did a while ago, but they are literally identical quests. There's a quest there, which we're not going to do right away, but we have these guys. So these are the 2 junk shops. The first off, we're going to sell some of our crap that we've got hanging around. So the first shop sells a couple of weapons. Worth noting, because the Mechonis is destroyed, there are very, very few Mechon left. There are a couple of them around the place, and there are a couple of quests that do require you to fight Mechon, but they are few and far between. As such, you really don't need to worry about anti-Mechon weapons. You can basically just pick weapons which are better. So, this Rex Biter is better for Ricky. The staff is probably better for Melia. What's the current one? 3 slots, though. I'll keep the current one. Rifle isn't much better for Sharla. Cloud Cutlass... no, Haste and Anger are still both very good. But the slots... yeah, we'll go for that for Dunban, actually, I think. Driver for Rhine... yeah, probably better. And the Karma Blades for Fiora... no. So this first shop, again, as I say, sells those weapons, and it does sell some art manuals. These are Fiora-themed. Healing Energy, not great. Cross Impact, that's a dazing one, sure, we'll have it. Magstorm, we don't use, and Lock-On, we don't use. Ugh, it's annoying that they finally give you those art books for Fiora, but most of them are shit. The other shop on Junks sells a lot of stuff, but it's mostly stuff for Fiora. But again, we have some art books. Summon Aqua, the healing one from Melee that we don't use. Final Flicker, Dunban's one where he sacrifices health for Talon Dark Gauge. Nah. Summon Ice, another one from Melee we don't really use where she attacks in a circle around herself. Peekaboo, another not great Ricky art. Power Effect, Melia's kind of area of effect increase, sure. And Drive Boost, Charles Aura. Yeah, we do use both of those. Right, let's look at the armor now. And we'll just look at the Fiora stuff as well. It tends to be kind of better versions, roughly, than what we have already. She's got Power 2 goggles at the moment, so Power 3 goggles are by definition the same, but better. So we'll go for those, why not? Frame-wise, again, the Speed 3 is just a better version than what she's got. Speed Arms 3, again, just better. And we'll actually keep the H-Ether boosters. They're not as good, but genuinely, the HP up that she has is much better than the Ether up buff from that. Finally, drones. So she's on gun drones 2 at the moment. I think we're actually gonna... okay, so that would just be better for gun drones, but I think it's actually time to switch her onto sword drones again, because... in Agniratha and some of the Mechon areas, you have a lot of crowd control stuff to do. At the moment, what we're mostly going to be doing is fighting single large enemies for the foreseeable future a bit more, so I think sword drones is a better bet for Fiora. Right, let's get everyone equipped. Well, first off, we've got some more visuals for Fiora, because we've got Power 3 now, which is a kind of teal version of what we're currently wearing. So fuck it, we'll equip that mostly. Oh, except I didn't buy Power 3 everything. Fuck it, let's do that, to at least keep the consistent visuals. You know what, I'll buy everything for visual reasons. No harm in showing this shit off. So, Fiora's looks we have now got is Ether Cowling 2. Which is, again, the same look she starts off with, except it's now, like, dark bluey, greeny, and gold, which is kind of cool. Speed Cowling 3. Attack Cowling 3. And Power Cowling 3, which is what we'll go for, because it's a nice teal shade. There's also, so another set of shops has opened up to us. Technically, this set of shops opened up to us after the Monolith Shrine. So we actually, when we briefly landed in Junks, after the first fight with Egil, but before we then returned to take out Apocrypha, we could have done this. By the way, these guys, I call them junk shops. They're part of Junks because they do follow you around on Junks from Colony 6 to the Fallen Arm. We have a shop that's been expanded in the Fallen Arm and a second shop in the Fallen Arm. So if we talk to this guy on the left, he's the expanded shop. So he sells mostly Machina equipment now. Not really necessary anymore. Yes, for some this is kind of better in some ways. Slots usually mean it's not. And we don't need it because we don't need to fight Mechon anymore, really. And the equipment is a bit, it's the stuff we basically already had access to with some heavier armor that we've basically already got better stuff for, so there we go. Artbook-wise, this has some interesting stuff. Spear Break for Fiora is worth it. And the rest of them, Say Sorry, very worth getting an art book for. And Unmanned Demon Slayer. Beyond that, Summon Ice we've seen, Final Flicker we've seen, and Peekaboo we've seen. So there's kind of a lot of overlap with the junk shops. I'll fire up those arts now, actually, just to see. A lot of new things there. Wonderful. Shulk's got some levels. Let's put them straight into Cyclone. Combat up straight into Cyclone. Speed would be handy. Buster might be handy as well. Or any of his non-Monado arts in need of leveling up. Fuck it, Shaker Edge. Why not? More damage, less cooldown. Always good. Done, man. We've just leveled up Demon Slayer, so we might as well... Okay, we're coming to the end of the usefulness of Demon Slayer, actually, I think. Because, again, we're not in crowd control anymore. Steel Strike is actually more useful to have, genuinely. We'll have to wait till we get some Master Art books for Dunban, I think. Now, we're getting to the point where most enemies will drop some useful Master Art books, so as we start fighting more stuff, we'll come across them more and more. Literally nothing we can level up on Ryan that's of any use. Fiora, well, we can potentially do some stuff. Cross Impact, sure. And that's about it on Fiora. Annoying, but there we go. Nothing on Sharla. Ricky, we can at least get Say Sorry up a bit more. Again, crack up the damage, crack down the cooldown. Very handy. On Melia, we can crack power effects all the way up, decreasing cooldown and increasing aura time. And also Spear Break, which at least will bring that into a similar cooldown to Starlight Kick, because those two definitely work in tandem, which is pretty cool. Shop on the right now. So this one has some new Fiora weapons, I think. I'm going to buy all three of them, because I can't remember which ones actually come with a new visual effect. So a lot of Fiora's weapons don't regularly drop from enemies, so if you want to see the effects on them, you're best to buy them. I think we've got every Fiora visual now. Oh, nearly. Star Knives. Are they not already the glowing red ones we have? No, they aren't. Should we go for them? Let's go for them, why not? And the Delay Blades, which are mildly cool looking. But I think we'll go for the red laser ones instead. You know, I'm going to switch to the Omega Break. I think they fit a bit better with the colour scheme we've got. Then this shop spells Fiora's armor, which is exactly the same as the junk shop, except for these soloist and whatever frames that we've already seen when we were first here. Drones, none of which are particularly good. I meant to switch the drones over actually on Fiora, and I never did. So yeah, we'll swap out the Sakura drones for the Uranus drones. Oh, and I'll take the ether up off, because that ether was for gun drones, which doesn't matter anymore. So actually, will probably be best to replace that with a strength up. Strength up 4. We'll get some new gems soon. I need to do a lot of gem crafting at the end of this episode anyway, so... And the final thing that this one has is some art books I've already looked at. Oh no, I haven't already looked at these. Spear Blade is a Fiora one. Ether Drain is a Fiora one. I don't use a lot. Healing Energy. Second Gear I do use. Magstorm I've already seen lock on. So yeah. Again, some useful ones. Double Wind would be the really good one. But these ones are still, they are Fiora arts that we use, so we should probably level them up. Second Gear is still very handy to use before Sword Drones, because that 1.5 damage on Sword Drones is substantial. Right, we are getting towards the end of what I want to do this episode. We've still got a couple of things. Actually, we've still got quite a lot of stuff to do. This is going to be a big episode, isn't it? Yes, there we go. So, Time Attack. We have a new Time Attack that I think technically we got access to when we first got to the Central Factory, but I'm going to show it off here. So, we now have access to Sparks Fly, You Die, which takes place in the Mechonis leg. What's it called? Mechonis field. Using Shulk, Rhine, and Fiora. And this one is a real... It's interesting.
Enemy is dangerous enemy.
You've got to think quite hard in this one. You have to remember this is Time Attack. It's all about speed. While you do get points for style, the real core of this is finishing with speed. We're playing a Shulk. So we've got 2 defensive onions, and we've got Infernal Cruselle here. What we want to do is target one of these onions first. We need to build up chain attacks pretty quickly. So the trick is using location arts as much as we can. So things like Slit Edge from the side, Backslash from the back. It's all about deploying those arts as well as we can in order to build up a chain attack. That was pretty good from Rhine. We've killed one already, which is a good sign, and we're building well. Now, well, that's going to be an interesting point. I'm going to fire off Monado Buster, because here I can hit both of them. That actually, as I say, it's a unique monster, Infernal Cruselle, which is kind of irritating, but there we go. Let's fire off that. Oh, what do I do here? What do I do? Now is perfect for a chain attack. Don't actually want to use it, I think. No, we should hold on to the chain attack. There's 2 waves to this. The first wave is basically all just about getting through it quickly and building up a chain attack. The second wave, we're going to have to basically constantly be in chain attacks. And if we're not, we're potentially going to have a very bad time of it. This is not a difficult one inherently to beat, but it's a really difficult one to actually beat in the time you need to get gubs from it. So we're doing well so far. Basically, my general rule of thumb on this one is if you can beat the first phase, the first wave, within 2 minutes, you're doing pretty good. Let's bust this guy. And then I'm actually going to use auto attacks with Shulk. Oh, that's good. I'm going to use auto attacks to build up my Monado gauge as well, again, because I think we'll need it going into the beginning of the next fight. I'm confident we'll beat this guy by 2 minutes, which means we're probably in a good stead for the second phase. Because the second phase puts us against another unique monster. And just to warn you about what's going to happen now, that monster has a spike on it. There are 2 ways of dealing with a spike. You can deal with a spike by purging it, or you can do what we're going to do, which is deal with it by a chain attack. So, we'll Stream Edge, which breaks him. We'll Wild Down him, topples him. Fiora can just hit him with Double Wind for some damage. Didn't get a chain extension, that's annoying. But we can use at least... Ryan will hopefully use Wild Down again. Oh, we've not got bloody Shaker Edge charged. That's irritating. Well, let's get behind him. We're going to take some damage here. There's not much we can do about this. Basically, as I say, this is about time, and it's genuinely not worth purging this guy. Because purging him sets you down a very different route of, you know, slowly building up Shulk's Monado gauge, and then you fire off Monado Purge when you can, and it's a very slow way of doing it. Which you will beat him. It's a pretty much a guaranteed way to actually fight him. Oh, Ryan's confused, but he's broken, you can topple him. No. Not quite. But yes, far more useful is to go fucking balls to the walls I'm doing, fire up a chain attack. During the chain attack, we break and topple Revolutionary Bifrost, and that disables his... There we go. Wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that disables his spike, and then hopefully we can topple lock him there. And then we got a daze, we got another daze. Now we're in a good place. Fiora's not looking great, but actually not much is going to hurt her here. In between rounds of dazing and toppling this guy, what you basically want to do is wail on the other Mechon here to try and just build your Monado gauge back up as much as you can. We've toppled him again, that's pretty good. We should have him done in by now, if we're in a good way. Oh, no, don't get back up. Fucking bollocks. Right, we're not great here. There we go, no, he's dead. We are great. Let's just kill these final few Mechon. These two have only got relatively low health. Yeah, you just use these building up party gauge, but we haven't needed that, and hopefully won't. These level 67, we're level 65 in this, but they're little Mechon. They die very easily. So, we will just clean these up, and we should be pretty good. We've got some good sounds from the Archsage, a lot of ho-ho, but also, as I say, time is king in this. Vision? Really? Oh, visions are annoying in time attack because they slow me down. Wow, you're showing me that's going to give him strength down or defense down or whatever that is. And a lot of slow-mo stuff, which is irritating. If we can finish this in under 5 minutes, I'll be happy. And we're fairly close to that. There we go. Let's see how we did. We only need to get an A on this rather than an S in order to get Gubs. And here is little something, so we should be alright, I think. B! Oh. Needs to be slightly faster, I guess. Yeah, it's not thrilled enough beyond words. Right, let's try again then. Exactly the same strategy. I think, yeah, things just went a bit slowly in the first phase there. You should, on the first 2 onions, be able to build up a chain attack and take up the third one, but you need to be able to go into Bifrons with a chain attack in order to start topple locking, otherwise that spike decimates you. So, let's try again. 4:24 is a pretty good time on that. Let's see if that pleases the Archsage. Yeah, we got the A. The S is fucking hard to get on that, but this is enough to get little something. Which is shit, obviously, but, well, we'll show these off in a second, so I'm going to do it in free mode as well, but free mode is much easier. We're basically going to go with the party we currently have. So let's attempt the trial. We're higher level than it anyway, and also, yeah, we've got a better setup for... I'm still going to kind of roughly do the same thing of, like, break and topple locking stuff, but we're in a much better party to topple lock than that one. First off, we can actually show here Shulk's new art, which is Monado Cyclone. So Monado Cyclone topples everyone around him that's broken. So we get in position, we use Stream Edge, and then we immediately use Cyclone on everyone that's broken. Oh, we toppled them already. There we go. But it's very handy for that. It means that Shulk is one of very few characters who can break, topple, and daze in a single maneuver, which is real cool. Well, not a single maneuver, in 3 maneuvers, but he can do it by himself, is the point. You have to rely on anyone's AI to kick in at the right times, which is real nice to not have to do that. I've just realised we don't have any Mechon weapons equipped, and I have not been enchanting. So we're going to have a shock of this run through. We'll do it, because it'll be fine. I'm curious to see how well we do, but... Need to remember to either switch their weapons up, or far more likely, I'm just going to do Monado enchant once. I'm actually just going to restart. It's not worth pushing through all of it. And I just need to remember to fire off 1 enchant towards the beginning. I did wonder, it was like War Swing and Soaring Tempest were only doing 1 hit rather than their full combo. It's like, something doesn't feel right here. Right, enchant fired up. Old school needing to use that, but there we go. Right, let's see if we can really topple up this bad boy. So, Stream Edge, we'll Steel Strike. We will Wild Down. And hopefully, yeah, we're almost guaranteed to get a chance extension with these guys. Cyclone also topples. Then we will Soaring Tempest, which will fill our party gauge a bit more. And, yep, not bad. We'll have a pretty long topple duration on these guys, and hopefully everyone will fire off their topple and dazing arts. God, look at that topple timer. Oh, you love to see it. And even the other two are toppled, so... Now we just need to quickly build up our party gauge again as quickly as possible so that we can fire it off. Oh, but look at that topple gauge on the top left of his nameplate. It's going to be a long time before this guy is standing up again, and we might actually just full-on murder him before that gets back up to full. Which is the real joy of topple locking, and that's the purpose of it. I mean, like we got Shulk's dazing art, we got back. Oh, yeah, almost. We actually almost murdered him during that single cycle. Oh, Ryan's confused. Does that mean he won't be able to take part in the chain attack? Not clear, but there we go. Oh, we've killed that man. shit chain attack there, but there we go. We've only got this phase to take it down, and we've got 3 minutes in which to do it. It has been 3 minutes so far. So technically we need to do it in a minute and a half, but still, pretty good. Right, 350, that's gotta be an S rank. Come on. Yeah, boy.
Here is little something.
So we get another little something, which is for Fiora. Right, let's see how some of this looks. Another beach style for Shulk. It's an experience. Pop, he's tempted to keep that. Normal outfit with the fucking snorkel on the top. But I do like the red goggles. Feels very Shulk. It's got strong goggles vibes. And as for Fiora, our second water cowling, which is a pinker version of the swimsuit. They're obviously plated, because Mechon. I prefer Power 3. So we have a decent amount of Nop-on stone now. We can't quite use it, but very soon it will become very useful. Because at the moment we can get armor and level 4 gems. And like being able to just buy the level 4 gem of your choosing is pretty handy. Soon, very soon in the game, we will get the ability to get collectibles and materials from the Archsage, which will speed up Colony 6 reconstruction and a ton of very awkward side quests. There's a lot of very awkward side quests coming up now in the game for a reason I will bitch about next episode. In short, the game doesn't know how to pace itself particularly well gameplay-wise, and at this point the difficulty jump is dramatic. Another thing that has now happened, so the rest of this episode is basically going to be dedicated, or the entirety of this episode, especially the rest, is going to be dedicated to what has changed since Mechonis Core. One of the things that has now changed is there are 5 what can only be described as super bosses around the Bionis and the Mechonis, Fallen Arm at least. The super bosses are enemies whose level is above level 100. The highest level you can get to as a human player is level 99. So the super bosses are 5 enemies who are above that. Ancient Daedalus here is one of them. I'm absolutely not going to fight him, because if you get even remotely near him, you'll get a vision immediately. 4, Laser, his powerful move, which hits you from a fucking mile away and it murders him one. It does an absurd amount of damage. Ancient Daedalus is a real bastard, and he is a Mechon. He's basically the only Mechon that can do you any damage that's left in the entire game. That's going to miss me, hopefully, yep. But there are 5 super bosses in total. There's Ancient Daedalus, there's 1 in Satoral Marsh, and there's a baffling 3 in Valak Mountain. We won't be dealing with them for quite some time, probably post-game, but I did just want to flag, now those 5 super bosses are in the game, and I will deal with them before this series is over, but probably... Basically, we're into Act 3 of the game now, a lot of stuff has become available. I will do some of that based on what we can do and what is plot relevant to do as we get on with the main quest, but doing the main quest is going to be my main priority. I expect to be finished somewhere around episode 105, with us being on 88 at the moment here. Okay. So, with that, what I want to do next is... So, the Mechonis and the Bionis fought. Both of them got up and moved during that time. As such, that moving has shifted parts of the geography of the Bionis and opened up some new areas. And we're going to be dealing with one of those for basically the majority of the rest of this episode. So let's go over here and talk to Dulland. Or fall into the water.
Hello.
Ah, I've been looking for you. I'm glad I found you. I'm taking care of the Hyentia who fled to the refugee camp. However, we do have cause for concern. There aren't enough provisions to go around. A problem. But we don't really need you to find more provisions for us. No, not really. We need you to get to the stock we stored in Tefra Cave. We locked it in a warehouse, but I've lost the key. I tried going along that route that opened up when the Bionis moved. That used to be the main path, but the place is now crawling with powerful monsters. I barely made it out with my life. You've risked so much to help these people. Homs truly are a noble people. Well, you could say that, but I was hoping I might get, something in return. Oh, I see. It appears my admiration was premature. Hey, I'm a businessman. I'm not running some kind of charity here. But I know when it's time to stand up and be counted. These people need help, and I'm the one who's going to help them. So I'm asking you, won't you help the refugees? Find the key and bring the food from the warehouse to the camp. So this is securing provisions. Collect the trader's key from the trader's stopover in Tefra's Cave. Just now. Just what I thought. I knew you wouldn't let them starve. I think I lost the key in trader's stopover. That's where I was attacked. The door to the warehouse is behind Villia Lake. We've seen that door before. Everyone is counting on you. But doctor, you say, there's nowhere that's open to us in Tephra Cave. We've seen every option. And this is where it all comes in. So, let's warp first to Villia Lake, and we'll see a bit of a new area. So first off, I want to make my life a little bit easier by equipping some gems. So we've cracked Fiora Melia's Earth Cloak up to 60%, which means she is harder to detect by ground-based monsters. That's going to become relevant. So here was blocked by rocks until the Bionis moved, and now it has opened up, and this is a new area. It's full of very high-level monsters. This is, again, as I said, I'll complain about this more next episode. These are all level 90-something. The game doesn't know how to pace itself at this point, and so a ton of quests open up to us, most of which require the fighting of level 80 or level 90 monsters. If, unlike me, you haven't done basically every side quest the game offers you at this point, you're suddenly going to feel like there's basically three options. Struggle on with the game, do a load of side quests which are really difficult, or go back and do a load of really low-level joke side quests. Those are kind of your only options, and it is frustrating that it comes to that, because the enemies we're going to fight, so I've not been using expert mode. If I use expert mode, let's see what level we can get up to. Okay, we can get to 75, that's not terrible. In the next area, plot-wise, if we just hammer on with the main plot, the main enemies we're going to get to are going to be, levels 72, 73-ish, and then it's going to crack up quite steadily from there. So if you come out at, level... When I played this game the first time, I came out at, level 65 from Mechonis Core, and everything is just suddenly really difficult, and there's not a lot you can do. You suddenly feel really powerless, and I get the game's supposed to be, putting that in you, that, suddenly with, the Telethia kicking around everywhere, it's all horrific, but this one does get me a little bit, because it just feels like the pacing of the game mechanically is off. Plot-wise, when I say pacing, absolutely fine. But we have a heart-to-heart we can actually do here between Shulk and Ryan called The Legend of the Spider. Look, Ryan, this geological formation, it's incredible. It sure is. This breeze ain't bad either. Ryan, are you okay? You don't normally want to talk about geology and the weather. Okay, yeah, I'm a bit on edge. Just tell it to me straight, Shulk. Is it me, or are there a ton of spiders around here? Yes, there are quite a few. Oh, yeah, now I remember. You're scared of spiders. Are you okay? You don't look so good. Sorry, Shulk. Mind if we take a break for a bit? That's not a problem at all. I'm just trying to think when your phobia started. If I remember right, it was around that time when... Come on, man, don't remind me. I played a prank on you. I'm sorry, Ryan. I shouldn't have stuck that spider in your shoe. Too right, you shouldn't. When I went to put my shoe on, I nearly jumped out of my skin. You should be glad it didn't make me scared of shoes. Don't make me feel bad. I said it was sorry. Yeah, I know. We were just kids back then anyways. Boys will be boys and all that. That reminds me. Do you remember why I stuck that spider in your shoe? Not really. You hid a caterpillar in my sock drawer. Did you forget? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, man. Hey, Shulk, don't you have a phobia? There's something you're afraid of, but I can't remember what. It's caterpillars, Ryan. That's quite a funny one, I enjoy that. And the alternative versions that we'll have at the episode. Ooh, achievement, pouring your heart out. I assume that's do X, heart to hearts. But yeah, the alternatives we get at the end are also pretty good. These Dorsale lizards shouldn't fight with us. Basically, unless they've got a eyeball above their heads, meaning their vision type, or their sound type, and you don't move properly, like there. Because sound type stuff that's flying, certainly we don't have any of our help with the Earthquake for that. Ooh, hello, Mr. Ether Crystal over here. So yeah, this is a really cool formation in Tephra Cave. It's really cool that this late in the game you've still got areas like this opening up in old places, and there are still a fair few places we can go that we haven't been to yet. And places that we've seen. Ooh, Crystallized Luck. Clock that one off as well, Future Doctor. And there are also, yeah, places we've seen in cutscenes that are still open in locations that we can go to now. If you see it, you can go there. Other than the Bionis left shoulder until they release the Future Connected DLC, which they did, in fairness. Oh, shit, what are you? Musical Van Flare? That doesn't sound good. Well, let's run away from this bullshit. And hopefully... Okay, so this guy's vision type. Basically everything in here will kill the shit out of us. This quest is a weird one. It feels like I'm jebbing it to do it earlier, but I'm genuinely... Okay, I'm going to do a bit of jebbing, which I think is intentional in the game's parts. But basically... Don't be surprised if the game makes you spend a significant chunk of the late game... Not the plot stuff, but the quest you can do at that point. Dodging monsters. It is going to feel that way. Can I drop off without drawing too much attention? Oh, yes I can. There are some quests that do involve you jebbing it, and I think it's interesting how the game basically makes you, in some cases, be like, there are enemies you can't fight, but you can sneak past them. That's a thing the game has established, which is fairly cool that is an option. Some bonnets here that I can mostly dodge again, because they're vision type, so we can move around the back. Like, here, they are all dodgeable. Most of the things are vision type with strict patrol patterns, or, aha! Secret area, the Heavenly Window, featuring the Sonica Gogols and the Erratic Goliante. No, wait. Protective Torquidon. Erratic Goliante is over there, and we're going to deal with him in just a second, but we'll harvest some more fire crystals before then. Oh, forge with these. Basically the end of this episode, I think, actually. Yeah, it's kind of cool that it does give you the option in a lot of ways for, like, you can sneak past enemies if you know what you're doing. It doesn't feel too much like we're jebbing. But here we're going to do some serious jebbing. So, with our cloaks equipped, let's wait for this Gogol to turn around. Weirdly enough, this one at the door, we can actually get past. His vision radius is straightforward. Very funny. And here we get to the Trader's Stopover. And dead ahead of us is the item that we need. Gonna save here, because this is annoying to reset to. To get that red orb requires a very specific maneuver. Either kill this level 96 certified Gogol, that's not going to happen, or what we do is we go around the side. There's a reason I'm Melia. We go here, while we target him. Then we go here. We start a fight with him. And with Melia, we can hit him from here safely. And what we need to... Oh, nope, he's going around. What we need to do is get in a position with these boxes where he can't get at us. And it's about here-ish. Nope. There's a specific place where we can lock him in. There we go. And now we wait. It feels like you're jabbing it, because you are, and to a huge extent, but also... The game's put these boxes here... Oh, bloody hell. It's put these boxes here that the Gogol can't really reach. And part of me's like, this can't be accidental. It gives you this quest as soon as you've beaten Mechonis Core. And there is absolutely no way that anyone just about beating Mechonis Core is ready to fight a level 96 monster. No chance at all. So, I'm strongly of the opinion that this, while it is a kind of cheeksy way to do it, wasn't entirely unintended by the developers. If we wait here long enough, combat ends, we grab the spare key and run back before he gets back into position. Wonderful. And that's it. That is all there is to doing that quest. The fact that it is so straightforward to do that, again, it just makes me think that surely can't be an exploit so much as a you are supposed to be a sneaky bastard there. Because level 96 is wild. The level cap of the game is level 99. The final boss of the game is level 82. So either this quest you're only supposed to be able to do, emergency warehouse here by the way, you're only supposed to do significantly after beating the final boss when it's one of the first quests you're offered post-Mechonis Core, or there's a gem option open to you. So those, see what you think, but I think I know where that falls. We now need to go meet Dulland at the refugee camp. You brought the provisions. I knew you wouldn't let me down. The High-End here aren't really cut out for this style of life. If we can fill some bellies, they might feel less desperate. I hope I was of some help. Of course you were. Or maybe not. Anyway, here's a little something to say thank you. I'm sure the or maybe not was referring to making the High-End here feel better, but it seemed like it was like, of course you were a help, Melia. And he was like, no, you weren't. But that completes securing provisions. And to finish off, we are going to do skill trees. Who has skilled up? Fiora has skilled up. Wonderful. Now she's got increases the damage of critical hits, which is great. Let's actually link that onto Dunban if we can, because that's the shit. Dunban loves a good crit too, especially when he's got He-Haze up. So we're going to finish up by doing some Colony 9 reconstruction. So, what do we need? Housing, we need 4 more Ponyo hoof seals. So we can trade for those with Elequa on the Fallen Arm. So let's go to her. She's outside the Fallen Arm, the hidden village, if I remember correctly. Fantastic. Let's go and reconstruct. So that brings housing up to the next level. 5 houses, a housing block, and a Nopon house, which is very cool. Next up, what do we need? For commerce, we need Piranax fish meal, silver anton fibers, antole fibers, and a sour turnip. Well, we'll start with the sour turnip, because that is from exactly who we were just trading with in the Fallen Arm, Elequa again. As for the Piranax fish meal, we can get that also from the Fallen Arm since we're here. Because you have these fair Piranax here on the inlet beach, which are exactly what we need to kill in order to get fish meal. And finally, we just need to get some silver antole fibers, who we can trade for with a machina. So this here is Shulk's, who will trade us for some silver antole fibers. With that, we can go and reconstruct. So we got a new shop from that, and then finally we have got nature. Because I'm pretty sure we just explicitly special required stuff we have no access to. But here we just need 3 Catabile Silk and 3 Hox Daylight Spurs. Let's handle those Hox Daylight Spurs first. So, we can get these by trading... Oh, hiccup. We can get these by trading with a Hyentia called Geril. Like a lot of Hyentia, she has flared Alchemoth. And as I've talked about in the past, what you can get by trading with someone is often conditional upon exactly where they are when you're trading with them. Geril is currently based in Sartorial Marsh, and we actually can't get the trade item we need from her here. But now that we've got housing up to level 4, we can in fact invite her to Colony 6. Is this Geril? No, it's just that's Zella Argentis. Maybe she's here. Oh, she's actually offering us a quest. Nope, Hyentia Refugee is offering us a quest. Roseal's offering a quest. A lot of quests offered now, but most of which we can't actually do. I guess he must be at nighttime here. Oh no, we have to be at Sartorial Marsh at nighttime. It's so pretty and cool. What a shame that is. Here we go. So, if we speak to her, she will say, I'm just itching to do some research, but it's so frustrating there are no facilities here. I finally made a breakthrough, but now I'm stuck. That's where you come in. You're rebuilding Colony 6, aren't you? Do you think you could possibly invite me there? Yes, we can. Thank you so much. I can't believe you invited me. Now I can do as much research as I like. It's only a matter of time before I complete the medicine. Over to Colony 6 goes Geril, and we will follow her and find her. Sounded less sinister in my head. So, over by the shops, we can now trade with her, and in specifically Colony 6, she will offer for trade. She doesn't offer for trade. It's an overtrade, so the cheapest thing she offers is the generic plug, so if we overtrade that by, I think it's 7,500, she will give us a Hox Daylight Spur. The only other option is to fight enemies that are level 83, and no, thank you. So let's just overtrade her thrice. Brilliant. And with that, one final thing to get is the Caterpile Silk. So this we can actually get from killing Caterpiles. It has to be weirdly high-level Caterpiles, the kind that you get in the Windy Cave, which is underneath the upper layer of Bionis Leg. Not going to bother with that though, because there's someone who will trade us Caterpillar Silk if we go to Colony 9's commercial district, at night time specifically. Then we have right here Sylvain, who will trade us what we need. Is this an overtrade as well? Must be. Well, let's go for the Muddy Pelt, because that's a nice easy one to overtrade again. If you're at need... If you know you need to overtrade, just make sure you target their lowest sale value item, and it'll just make it a bit easier. Even if you don't know, as I don't off the top of my head, what we're supposed to be overtrading to. As in, because there is a specific overtrade value which you need to surpass in order to overtrade successfully. Sylvain's, having just looked up, is 5,290. Which is fairly easier than what we've been doing, so let's just, I mean, yeah, that would do. You talk it, why not? Cool! With that, let's go and reconstruct a final time. So as I say, that's everything up to level 4 except for a special, which we can't do because it requires items from the area that we are going to go to at the end of this episode. It's been a fucking long bastard, but there we go. We haven't got the cash for it. Wow. I really forget that you actually need cash in order to do Colony 9 reconstruction. Let's go sell some shit then. And notice we're at 48% completion. When we level up nature, that will push us over 50%. We built a tree-lined street and the mine's ether crystals have gone up in rank. And since we're over 50%, we get an achievement, a fix on the solution, and we get some new music that we're going to hear while I do a shit ton of gem crafting. Because we got a load of level 4 stuff from Agneritha. The key signature has also changed in this. It's more major than it was before.
Wow, this is absolutely mint.
Strength up Mega Heat. Excellent. So that means we get 2 5s, which is pretty sweet. We've actually got some, we got some sick stuff we can do from those sweet crystals in Tephra Cave. Fortunately, they're all a bit shit. There's no strength up. So revival HP up is a bit shit. Initial tension's good though. So with heat, we brought that up to level 6, the highest level of ether crystals you can get, because, well, gems you can get. The highest level of crystals you can get is 5, so therefore you can get, with level 5 crystals, you can get level 6 gems. Moving around as well, you'll just hear more people noises in Colony 6 as well. There's just a lot of in the background, which is a nice way of them letting you know that it's becoming a bit more populous. Finally, Commercial 4 unlocked this new shop manned by a Hyentia near the entrance. It doesn't sell a lot of terribly interesting stuff. Most of its weapons are woefully under-leveled, as is a lot of stuff in Colony 6 generally. Ricky is angry, sure, why not? But that's about it. Other than we have the Heavy L set. This gives us one of those fun legacy visuals, so we'll at least show that off. I think, or is this one I've already got? Let's find out. No, it's a new one for everyone. Cool, right, let's show it off in Shulk. Horrifying black and red demon. It's so bulky. Again, this is heavy armor from the first game, and they redesigned it because it looks like bulky bollocks. Ryan, not 1,000 miles away from how the Titan regular Titan armor looks from the non-legacy, ends up looking like that. Whereas this stuff looks like that, so it's bigger and bulkier, and a different colour scheme. So Melee is currently in Titan armor. That's what the older version of the Titan armor looks like. Bulkier, and again, different colour scheme. Not terrible, not amazing either. Wild experience with Dunban, crazy horned samurai. Real look. Not terrible with Sharla, just again, very bulky. As for Ricky, mix things up a bit. He's Spiky Boy, and he looks frankly fantastic. Not quite as good as if he were, in fact, the Pineapple of Death, which we will return him to being. And on that note, we're about to wrap things up. We're actually going to head on with the main quest, just to ultimately conclude the episode and show where we're going to be going next episode. So thank you for watching what's probably been a massive episode. This was one of those ones where I just had a list of shit I gotta get through, and the episode will be as long as it need to be to accommodate that. As we know, Egil's final wound blasted a hole in the side of the Bionis, so to get into there, we need to fly in junks, which means we need to speak to Mikkel. We're ready to fly into the Bionis. Should we head there now? Yes, we shall. Fiora played a prank on you. She stuck a spider in your food. It was hilarious. Oh yeah, that was gross. How could she do that? Hey, wait a minute, that never happened. It was your fault. What? Are you sure? Don't tell me you've forgotten. You stuck a spider in my shoe when we were kids. Sorry about that. Are you sure it was me? Yes, and for the record, I hated it. How could you forget that? It's your fault I have this horrible fear of spiders. Hey, no need to make such a big deal out of it. I don't remember why I did it. Are you kidding me? You did it because... okay, I guess I don't remember either. On the plus side, if we both forgot, can't be much of a reason. Yes, he's totally forgotten about the prank I played on him. And I can't say I'm gonna complain. I forgot to do Ryan's accents during that thought bubble, but there we go. You love spiders! All the strange and exciting spiders around. No wonder you look nervous. I bet you can barely contain your excitement. You must be kidding! I'm starting to feel sick just looking at the ugly things. Ha! Gotcha, Ryan. I was only joking. Don't be uptight. It's just a few creepy crawlies. For the record, it's because of you that I have a phobia of spiders. I hope you haven't forgotten what you did back when we were kids. I remember. Relax. You know how sorry I was. You shouldn't have done it in the first place, man. Why the heck did you have to go and sneak a spider into my stew? Stew again. Fucking kill me. Shoe. You were bugging me. You put a caterpillar in my drawer, remember? Literally bugging him. Really? I sort of remember. I might have, but who knows? See, you're the bad guy here. Why'd you do it, Ryan? I don't know. No, I can't remember. Well, that's the end of that. Both of us have awful memories. Guess we're two peas from the same pod. It needed a good home. If I recall, your shoe just looked just the right size for the spider. Oi! My feet need to live in my shoes. No bugs allowed. I've had enough of this, and I shit here, Shulk. You want to get moving already? Right, the spiders can stay away or suffer the consequences. You better watch your back too, Shulk. You'll regret that prank too. At least you're back to your old self again. Hey, that's not the point. Ah, forget it. You're always one step ahead of me anyway.